This is Too Far Enterprises coming to you and asking a question. Why is it always a problem for everybody? I don't care if it is Europeans. I don't even care if it's black people. But when you talk about giving us any prosperity or giving us what you owe us, there's a problem. And what I can't understand is the people who need it the most sometimes join in the enemy's side, the one who profited on our backs. They join them in the fight against us getting what is owed to us. I say reparations. How in the hell are you talking about reparations when you should be talking about a debt? You're kidnapped, international kidnapping. You sent missionaries over to all of these places, okay? But I'm talking directly about Africa right now. And yeah, they may have had people here and free black people, free whatever Indians or whatever you want to call it in the Americas before Portugal got there and started stealing. And you know the way you went about it is crazy because you sent missionaries in there before the army came in there. These people invited you onto their land, into their homes and everything, and you kidnapped, you murdered, you buck broke, you understand? And when you were through, you had taken most of the people that you wanted to take, and you left behind wreckage, carnage, and that little book that tells them everything that you did to them was okay. Then when you brought them over here, you started your breeding practices, okay? First, what you did in your breeding practices is you raped the women anytime you felt like it, and you created all these different colored children, okay? Then, when they were about to abolish slavery, you started breeding practices because it started getting expensive. You didn't want to spend none of the money that you were making, okay? When you found out that you could breed slaves right there on your plantation, okay? Then when you saw that the blacks and the indentured servants that were on your property could gather at any time and come to an uprising and uproot you and take everything from you, you decided to institute what we really called slavery, okay? To put another poor person over a slave and make them think that they were part of the ruling class, when all you did was use them all their life. Most of the time, those people involved former slaves, Irish, and other people from all over the European world that came to this country for a better place. Because you already know the Black Plague was plaguing you. So you brought it to the Americas. And what you did was you emptied the European continent of all your pedophiles, you know, all your murderers, and people who wouldn't have cared. And that was women and men. Then when you got here, what did you do? You gave them all the tools to be able to protect your property, okay? Instituting a police type of environment, slave catchers. Then you sent them out to the worst forests and plains to clear that out. and to make sure that somebody was sitting on that land so that you could claim it for yourself, so that France or Britain wouldn't get it. Okay? And they owe us too. But right now we're talking about America. You stole any money. First you made the slaves work for you for free. Anything that they found had to go in a bucket. They couldn't keep nothing. After that, you instituted the black codes. But before all of that, 40 acres and a mule, you reneged on that. Very few people got that. Okay? The money that they did put together, you stole that. Freedmen's Bureau and all kind of other atrocities. Not counting the cities that you bombarded like Tulsa, Oklahoma, but they had so many others, Black Wall Streets, that you put lakes over because you know why? You didn't want nobody to ever find it. But you know, the dirt that you do, it still comes out. And people talk about not receiving money because they're no longer here. Are you out of your mind? In law, it tells you that if the person that was harmed is not here, the benefactors get it. So stop coming up with excuses. But you know what? That's part of our fault too. Because see, when the European wanted something, you took it. Black people go around with their hat in their hand asking. I'm not asking you for nothing. I know you owe me. You understand? And I know you don't want to give nothing to me. And your Asian people don't want me to have it. Your Spanish people don't want me to have it. Even though these people were abused by you too. The sickest part about all of that, the psychology and the conditioning and all of that, is that you made us not want what was best for us. But the spirit and the consciousness of this world would not let that be 100%. And our ranks are growing. Your enemy, you're supposed to keep him close. What about if your enemy is within you? What about if your enemy is within your community? Because that's what I see when I see people like Jesse, when I see people like Miss Gomez. Jesse is black. He looked like he's black, but he's as white as my t-shirt. Miss Gomez, she says she's Colombian. But the fact is, even your Europeans are Africans. Look at the video before classism and haters, okay? But if you do enough research, you'll find out where everybody's from. And of course, they may have had what some people call beings from another planet here. So what? Human beings walked out of Africa. Well, maybe they weren't human beings at that time, Homo erectus. Or as this professor just got through talking about, apes walked out of Africa and populated this world. Okay? But everything that walks out of Africa is African. You can call yourself whatever you want to. But most of you who are of a lighter color, you've been raped so many times, you don't know what your heritage is. The same thing with black folks. So, you know, they're just using you like they use everybody else, you know, and maybe, you know, I can understand, you know, certain things, but I can't understand people not wanting the best for themselves nor fighting for it, okay? This is too far enterprises, getting it out of my system and putting it out on that media system. Thank you.